Greetings, parents. My name is Tammy Branch. I'm the eighth grade counselor here at Robertson Middle School, as well as the lead counselor. I come to you to talk to you about the special programs that Robertson has to offer outside of your traditional zone middle school that your child might be zoned to go to. Hopefully, by the end of this presentation, I would have answered a lot of your questions that you still may have about Robertson. And so, I want to go ahead and start by showing you a video of a few of our teachers talking, and also you'll get to hear our principal Rumsey talking about the expectations and that we have for students and our goals that we have for our students.
My name is Cecilia Brumsey. I am the principal here at Robertson Middle School. Robertson Middle School, it is a school of choice, but what sets us apart from other middle schools is that we allow students to have the opportunity to come in and experience things that they wouldn't necessarily get from a regular middle school. We are extremely happy to be in this beautiful new building that supports our different communities. We have law enforcement, STEM, performing arts, and agriculture. The students, as they go into the communities, get to experience different things that line up with that community.
In the performing arts community, we like to make sure that the students are comfortable. We like to make sure that the students become more aware of themselves, come out of their shell, and discover new skills that they've never thought they could do before.
24 and 3. I get students who come into the choir classroom who then discover, oh, maybe this is a strength that I didn't realize I had it. So for me, it's almost like I'm mining gems or mining diamonds. Like, it's there, they don't know it, but I start chipping away and then they discover it, and then you can see the confidence build in them and what they're doing in my classroom, and hopefully that confidence that they build, it transcends your subject, it transcends this building, it transcends this school. And again, it's even larger than Spring ISD. That's something I want our kids to have here, and I want parents to know that that's what we're building here. So that to me is gonna be that legacy that's built that takes them much further than the district, out into college if they choose to do that, or the military, or if they decide to be an entrepreneur, or whatever they happen to look at or want to do.
We want to make sure that we're building our students to make them become better leaders. So our focus is not just on the academics areas, but also introducing them to other things and giving them opportunities to stand up and be leaders within the district as they progress through their grades. One of the things that we pride ourselves on here at Robertson is that we're able to reach our students and close the gap. The National Blue Ribbon Award was actually extended to us because when we started, we have students who were behind academically. We put things in place, programs, systems in place that we targeted students to make sure that we were meeting their needs. So we wanted to make sure that all students' needs were met. One of the things we do here at Robertson is finding out where our students are and what they need to be successful, and we build within the system that in order to help them. So we try to make sure they have an equitable opportunity to grow and be successful.
So we're gonna look at the student, we're gonna look at what they need, and we're gonna do our best to meet that need every day. Just like our district vision talks about, every student, every teacher, every day.
As they leave Robertson Middle School, I hope their confidence has built. We always have students return and thank us for a wonderful job, the great experiences that they have had here at Robertson Middle School. And it's a really good feeling just to have them come back and return and say thank you.
When students leave Robertson, I want them leaving knowing that they can be and do anything that they want to do, and they have the skills and the ability. I want to make sure that we as staff work hard to pour that into our students, to make sure that they understand and they know that they can be and do whatever they want to be, as long as they work hard at it, and they can lead and be whoever they want to be.
Okay, as I stated to you guys again, just wanted to introduce you to Principal Rumsey and some of our other teachers. I hope in the video you noticed some things that we do have to offer already. For instance, you may have seen some students dancing because we have a dance studio for our performing arts community. We also have choir there. You also may have seen some students with drones in that video. Our students do actually build drones in our STEM community, and they do some coding there. Also, for agricultural science, we do have the teacher that has actual animals in the classroom. Of course, if your child does not want to take part in, handling the animals, they don't have to, but we do have some students that raise, animals like rabbits and goats, and they actually take them to the Houston Livestock and Rodeo Shows to compete for prize money. So just a few things to introduce you to for Robertson. Okay, so now what I want to talk to you about before we go further is entrance agreements for Robertson. So when your child gets accepted to Robertson, we have a 3-year commitment. And what that means is we ask that all of our students stay with us all 3 years. It is a requirement. The only time students really leave is if they have some egregious behavior going on. It can be one incident, it can be many incidents, and the behavior doesn't improve. They may have to go to an alternative campus for Spring ISD, which is called Ritchie Academy. But we work with you. We give them chances before then. But of course, if the behavior doesn't improve or it's too egregious, then they will have to go to the alternative campus and they will not be invited back to Robertson. Other instances where students may have to leave, of course, if parents move out of the district, then you can attend Robertson. But if you move back into the district, they are required to come back to Robertson. Also, and this is on a case-by-case basis, there are some instances where families are not able to continue with Robertson. It might be because of just certain family situations or emergency situations. And so that will require the student to go to their zone campus. The district will take a look at those cases on a case-by-case basis. So there are times when those transfers are approved. Okay, but not often. We don't have many of those specialty cases. This is what I just said about the entrance agreements in Spanish. So on your own time, you can definitely view that slide in Spanish. The next thing I want to talk to you about is our advanced classes at Robertson. We have English, math, science, and social studies. They are advanced and just, at a slightly higher level. Of course, we teach them what they need to know at their grade level, and then we ask them to apply their learning. And this can be challenging for all students, but I do want you to know that just like any other middle school, we do provide tutoring to our students. So I don't want you to think that we're going to allow them just to struggle. We do offer those tutorials during school and after school. This is the same thing about the advanced classes in Spanish. And again, on your own, please feel free to view. Now, I want to talk to you about the 4 specific communities that we offer. I know you keep hearing me say that word community, and all it is another word for career pathway. And also, let me preface all of what I'm about to say, saying to you that you may not see a career pathway here for your child. But I want you to know a couple of things and be reminded of a couple of things, is that your students usually change their mind. Okay, we want middle school to be a place where they get to explore these career opportunities to see if that's something that they will want to go into. And if they don't, that's fine, because even in high school, they change their career pathway again, and even in college again sometimes. So just look at middle school as just exploration and not a definite. So please, I still encourage you to apply for your child, even if you don't see a career pathway here for them. Okay, so the first pathway we have is performing arts, and those are for those students who like to perform, who are not shy to perform in other people, and maybe they want to perform, but they're really introverted, and we just need to help bring them out. So if both cases are true, performing arts might be a community for your child. They will have dance and choir in that community, and they will be required to play one of 3 instruments. So one of our instruments is piano, another is guitar, and another is percussion. Percussion is just another word for drum. Our next community is law enforcement. So maybe you have a child that is wanting to go into anything having to do with law. Maybe they want to be a future police officer, a lawyer, an FBI agent. Maybe they like crime scene investigation, and you see that they watch a lot of CSI or any of the other law programs on TV. Then law enforcement might be something that they want to get into. Next, we have STEM. If you have that child that likes to build things, that is inquisitive about computers and computer science, maybe they want to actually be an engineer one day or build things and be an architect. Maybe they're interested in cybersecurity. Anything having to do with science, technology, engineering, and math. That's what STEM stands for. And like I stated previously, they do some coding there. And lastly, we have our agriculture community. So if you have a student that is interested in anything having to do with the environment and its natural resources. So for instance, if they're interested in animals, maybe they want to be a veterinarian one day, or they just want to work closely with animals. Also, they might be interested in food production, farming. Also, if they want to be a biologist one day or interested in weather, being a meteorologist. The oil and gas industry, as we know, is a very lucrative industry, and that is all under agriculture. And this is what I just went over with you in Spanish. And now what I'm going to take you through is the class profile. That means for every community, I'm going to talk about the courses that your child will take from 6th grade all the way to 8th grade, okay? So the first one we're going to look at is performing arts here. So if you look over here with me on the left-hand side, that is 6th grade year. The middle will always be 7th grade year, and the right will always be 8th grade year. So over here in 6th grade, if you notice, sorry about that. If you notice, they will always have their 4 core classes and a class that we call academic enrichment. And what academic enrichment is it is a class that is built in during the school day, and it's specifically for students who need to be enriched, meaning that they have been doing well in testing for reading and math. That is STAR testing or other testing that we have on campus. We track our students. So in the video, remember Ms. Brumsey saying that we target our students to see what they need and we meet those needs. The part of how we do that is tracking our data. We look at their test results, not just STAR, but the test that we take during the year to see where they are and what they still need, okay? So they will be either being tutored during that time or they will be enriched during that time, okay? And it's specifically for what students need. Outside of those 4 core classes in academic enrichment, as you can see, they will have dance, they will have choir, and they will play one of the 3 instruments: piano, guitar, or percussion. Now, 7th grade year looks much the same. The only difference is now you're going to your 2nd level of dance, your 2nd level of choir, your 2nd level of whatever instrument that they're playing. And lastly, in 8th grade, it looks the same all the way up into social studies. But now every 8th grade student will have college and career readiness 1st semester and professional communication 2nd semester. And I do want you to understand that professional communications is a half of a high school credit. Your child, according to Spring ISD guidelines, are required and requested to graduate with distinguishment and endorsements with honors. So under that, they have to graduate with 26 credits, and that half a credit will go towards high school graduation for professional communications, okay? And next we have dance or choir this time. So in 8th grade, they will no longer have both dance and choir. They have to choose which one they want to continue with. And lastly, they will have their 3rd level of instrument. So that's what performing arts looks like all 3 years. So next, we're looking at STEM. So over here on the far right side, you have your 4 core and the academic enrichment class. But now you notice it has PE. When we talked about performing arts, just a second ago, when we talked about performing arts, you did not see PE. So that's one thing I want you to notice about performing arts. It does not have PE and it does not have drawing art. So if your child loves to draw, please don't have them pick performing arts. If they don't want to dance or sing, please don't have them pick performing arts, okay? If they really want PE, please don't have them pick performing arts because none of that is there, okay? So STEM has PE and art, and then it'll have the Introduction to STEM course along with the IC3 course, and that is where the computer literacy comes in and also where the coding piece comes in, okay? So now in 7th grade, it looks much the same all the way up until PE. But now if you notice, they have the choice to continue on with Art 2, or they can go into Spanish 1. Spanish 1 is a high school credit course, and that does count towards their high school foreign language requirement. They have to have 2 years of foreign language. So in 7th grade, if they choose Spanish 1, they're already getting 1 year of it. They will have touch system data, which is another word for typing. That's a half of a high school credit. And they will also have health. That is a half of a high school credit. So right there between touch system and data and health, that's 1 high school credit. And also, lastly, they will have investigating careers in STEM. For their 7th grade year. Now, as we move on to 8th grade, you can see everything's the same up until social studies. And again, there's that college and career readiness and professional communications, which is a half a high school credit. Now, if your child continues into art, they may go into just regular Art 3, or their teacher may recommend that they go into Art 1 high school, and that is 1 high school credit, okay? If they took Spanish 1 in 7th grade, now in 8th grade, they would take Spanish 2. We also have some students that are fluent Spanish speakers already. So we ask them to wait until 8th grade year to take Spanish for Spanish speakers, and that will be 2 years of Spanish in 1 year. So they would have satisfied 2 years of their foreign language. So in high school, they don't have to take Spanish or any foreign language again, unless they want to. All right. And lastly, we would have the Gateway to Technology 1 and 2. That is the high school credit class for STEM in 8th grade. So now looking at law enforcement. Law enforcement looks much like STEM. You have your cores, you have PE and art in 6th grade, and then you have the introduction to law and that IC3 class. In 7th grade, it looks the same all the way to PE, but in law enforcement is the only community where your students get the opportunity to have photography instead of normal art. Even in 6th grade, we offered photography this year, but definitely when they get to 7th grade, they will definitely have to go into photography, or they can go into Spanish 1. There's their typing and health again, and 7th grade is always investigating careers, and this time it's investigating careers in law enforcement. In 8th grade, you have those 4 core classes: academic enrichment, you have that college and career readiness and professional communications, have high school credit again. You have your art through photography 3, or the teacher can recommend your child take art 1 through photography high school. That is a high school credit. Or they may be taking Spanish 2 for their last foreign language credit, or Spanish for Spanish speakers, the 2 years in 1 year. All right. And the high school credit course for law is called Principles of Law, Public Safety and Corrections. Again, 1 high school credit. So now, finally, we're looking at agriculture. It looks much the same like law. Everything's the same all the way up until arts. And now you have your introduction to environmental science. In other words, it's still agriculture and IC3 in 6th grade. In 7th grade, it looks much the same all the way up to PE. Now we have our art or Spanish 1, typing and health, investigating careers, and non-cluster, which is the same thing as agriculture. In 8th grade, we have everything the same for 8th grade as in the others. College and career readiness, professional communications. They can continue on with art 1 high school credit, or they can, if they took Spanish 1 already, they can go into Spanish 2, or their Spanish for Spanish speakers. Now, I know this year we did not offer 8th graders Spanish 1 who would be taking it the first time because of staffing, but we may offer it next year. It just kind of depends on how many Spanish teachers we have at the time, but definitely in 8th grade, they will take either Spanish 2 or Spanish for Spanish speakers, okay? And lastly, the high school credit course for agriculture is called Principles of Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resources. That is one high school credit. So, what other kind of things do we have to offer, your child? Because it has to be more than academics. We are very interested in just building up the whole child. And you may have heard that before, but we work really hard. Our teachers work hard. That's one thing I want you to know, at Robertson, is how hard the teachers work, because a lot of these sports and clubs that we offer, they're run by teachers. Teachers stay after school. So you can imagine after a long days of working that they stay another hour after school, just trying to pour in your child, helping your child find their strengths and weaknesses, what they're interested in. Again, it's more exploration. And also it's a chance for your child to gain those social skills that they need to gain confidence in themselves, because many times when we talk to students, or the students that I've talked to in my office, they'll tell me, oh yeah, I go home, may do a little homework, and then for the rest of the time I'm in my room, I'm on social media. So that's not a lot of connection. And in school it looks like they're getting it, but and sometimes they are, a lot of times they are, but these clubs offer that extra connection for them to connect with like-minded people who like the same things that they like, okay? One of the things that we offer is sports through clubs. I have to tell you that it's not like the normal sports at a middle school. So we will not compete against other Spring ISD schools. Like we won't compete against Bama or Cotton or Wells. We compete against other smaller academies like ourselves, okay? Here are the sports that we offer. We offer lacrosse, wrestling, basketball, and soccer. In all of those sports, we offer it for boys and girls. And again, they happen after school. The students are not required to play, only if they want to. And they don't have to know how to play. We teach them how to play. The other things that we offer is just a different type of culture here at Robertson, and culture with a K, because we want you to understand that they're getting something, they're getting a different environment, different from just a regular middle school. So these are the things that your kids can expect in our environment. We celebrate cultural awareness. In February, we celebrate Black History Month. We also celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. We have Party on the Patio for good behavior or attendance. We have actual perfect attendance parties. We may have popsicles with the principal. We have Winning Wednesdays where staff and students dress up in their best attire, because we want these kids to start thinking about the future. What does it mean to dress up for a job interview and come looking your best, okay? They have lots of fun with it because we take pictures, we post them on Twitter. We also have the teacher treat. That's the trick-or-treating during Halloween time, where students and families come and we have a great time. We have haunted trails. They get candy, they get books. So just a great time. And that's another opportunity to connect with our families, because we want you to feel comfortable here too at Robertson, and just also for you to be able to see what we do. Also, we have treasure hunts during the school day. This does not stop school at all, but it's really just like little trivia and clues that we have hidden in the school. Kids find them, they answer questions, they awarded PBIS points for good behavior or finding those clues. And so therefore they can buy stuff from our school store. Also, we have Easter egg hunts, believe it or not. Yes, they are in middle school, but they absolutely love it because they are still children. And we also offer dances. We're getting ready to be having a dance for when they go off for Christmas and winter break. So they get to go to the dance. Of course, they have to have good behavior and good attendance and all of that. But they love it. It's a time to just kind of let their hair down and just really be with their classmates. And lastly, the thing I want to talk to you about, or one of the last things I want to talk to you about, is the clubs that we offer. Again, they're after school. They're run by teachers, and your child can join as many as their schedule and your schedule will allow, because they still have to get their homework done. We have buses that will drop them off at the nearest elementary for after school activities, or you can come get them. All right. So here's some of the clubs. We have boys and girls step team. We actually have a dance team as well. We have club anime for those students that are interested in the Japanese art and cartoon. We have robotics, science Olympiad, SECME. That's for all of our students that are interested in STEM. They can continue with clubs after school in it, even if they're not in the community. We have STEM clubs. We also have Future Farmers of America. Again, we have those students that raise animals or even cook and take those to the Houston Livestock and Rodeo Show to compete. We have National Junior Honor Society, Student Council, art club. So even if a student is in performing arts, for instance, and remember I said performing arts doesn't have drawing, but they can join the art club after school and still have that exposure to art. We have dance club, math club, and just so many more clubs. And again, it depends on what teachers are sponsoring, what clubs, as far as the availability, okay? And one of the last important things I want to talk to you about is the awards that we've been given. I know in the video you saw that we are a National Blue Ribbon Award winner and we are a Gold Ribbon Award winner. And what both of those mean is that we have a proven track record of high academic achievement for our students and also showing growth. No matter socioeconomic status, no matter cultural group, because I don't know if you know this, but historically, minority students usually underperform the majority culture. Okay, but we have closing that gap, so they look more like the majority culture and are not so far behind. So we have been able to do that. And also, the other thing to note is that every school has a report card from the Texas Education Agency. We have a report card, and our report card says that we are an A campus. Okay, so I want you to know that. It's very important to know because we are one of the top middle schools in the state of Texas, and your student will be receiving a top-notch education here. That is more of what I said in Spanish. Now, here's the meat of our presentation. How do you apply for Robertson? And I encourage you to apply even if you have your doubts. That way you can make a final decision later if you are offered a seat, okay? The first step, and it's 3 steps to applying. The first step is parents apply online. Students have received flyers. Every student that has received a student presentation from our school has gone home with a flyer. We've also asked schools to send you messages through Blackboard from your school. So on that flyer, it tells you the website to go to, but you can also go to the Spring ISD main website and type in school choice application in the search window, and you should be able to go there. But I still see it in the running announcements on the main Spring ISD website, so you can click on there and go to it, okay? The deadline is January 6th. So here are the things that we look for once you apply. We look for your child's 4th grade final grades, and we also look at 5th grade first semester grades. We look at 4th grade STAR. We looked at conduct and discipline. And we also look at attendance. We look at all of those things, okay? So once we look at it, we decide if your child has met the minimum criteria to enter our school. If they have or if they haven't, we email you either way. So whatever email you use on the online application, that is the email that we will consistently communicate with you through. Okay, also remember your password and your username for your application because you will need to access that. Okay, so that's phase 1. We will notify you if they make it to the second phase, which is phase 2, and that is the audition, interview, and teacher recommendation. Now, let me first talk to you about the audition and interview. The audition and interview happens one Saturday in February. We will let you know the date, the time, how to prepare, all of that. So I don't want you to stress about that. And the audition and interview is no longer than 4 to 5 minutes. Your child does not talk to us at all very long, okay? We just want them to present anything that they're interested in because we're trying to figure out who they are. We want to see what students are potential Robertson students, okay? And so some students have come to present their artwork to us and talk to us about their artwork. We've had some students do a PowerPoint presentation. Some students have actually come to sing or dance for us. I had one student, very simple. It was, he was a baseball player and he came dressed in his baseball uniform and he talked to us about baseball for about 4 to 5 minutes. So it can be over anything that they are interested in, and it's very short, okay? So we look at that and we also look at the teacher recommendation. So once you know that your child has made it to phase 2, we also notify their school counselor at their elementary. And we let them know these are the students that made it to phase 2 for your school. And so therefore we're going to need teacher recommendations for them. The teachers fill out a teacher recommendation Google form that I send a link for, and it automatically comes to me. And so our team looks at that and we decide if they met minimum criteria for the teacher recommendation and the audition and interview. And if they're going on to phase 3 or not. So again, we email you and let you know if they've gone on to phase 3. So if they don't go on to phase 2 or they don't go on to phase 3, I mean, then the application process is over at that point. Okay. Even after phase 1, if they don't go on, the application process is over for them at that point. Okay. So let's say you move on to phase 3. Phase 3 is the lottery. It's completely random drawing of names. It's all computerized. There's nothing that you have to do. There's no place that you have to be. They do advertise it online. It's a big deal, right? They push the lottery button and then it starts running and picking names. You will immediately be sent a email to let you know if one or two things happen. In the lottery, your child will either be chosen with their community that they're going to come under, or they're going to be placed on the wait list. So let me talk to you about both. As far as communities, we cannot guarantee you your first choice. That's why on the application, you will see that we allow you to rank the communities: first choice, second choice, third choice, fourth choice. Okay, so if your child really loves STEM and really is interested in going to STEM, that would be choice. Therefore, you should put a number 1 by STEM. Okay, if next they're really interested in agriculture, you should put a 2 next to agriculture and so forth. So the lottery runs that way. It tries to put everybody in their first choice. When it runs over, then it goes to their second choice. That's how lottery works. Okay, so those are the 3 steps. And again, we will notify you through each phase. This is the phases again in Spanish for you to view at your leisure. The other thing I want you to know is that no matter who the student is, all students must go through all phases. Let me say that one more time. Does not matter who the student is, all students must go through all phases, okay? However, there are 2 special groups of students who received extra consideration in the lottery. That is employees and that is siblings. So if your child has a parent that's an employee, okay, either parent that's an employee, not a grandma, not aunts, uncle, brother, sister, a parent. If you're an employee of the district, then your child will get an extra chance of being selected in the lottery, meaning we have 2 lotteries. We have a smaller employee lottery, and we have the general lottery. First, that child will be put in the employee lottery, and usually their name is picked from that. If their name is not picked, then they go back into the general lottery, okay? So in other words, 2 chances to win. Same thing happens with siblings. Now, siblings, those are students who have a sibling that is currently in 6th or 7th grade. their sibling cannot be in 8th grade right now, because that means when they do come to Robertson, their sibling is gone. They're not going to be there. So it doesn't count for those siblings. It only counts if their sibling is currently in 6th or 7th grade here at Robertson right now. Okay. Again, they get put in a sibling lottery. If their name is not picked, then they get put back into the general lottery. So 2 chances to win for them. So I just want you to know that those are special considerations at the end, the very last step. That is more of what I said in Spanish. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that we have some students. Remember how I said that we need 4th grade grades and attendance, conduct, all of that? Well, if you are out of district, if your child was out of district in 4th grade, you're going to have to request that information. You can first request it from the current elementary campus that's in Spring ISD. They should have that information, and you can upload it into the application. There is a space for you to upload it. The other situation is that you might be an employee and your child is not in the district right now, but you live in the district, or you may not live in the district. Either way, we're going to need their 4th grade report card and their 5th grade grades. You're going to have to upload that into the application. Okay. But if you're currently in Spring ISD and you're just missing, you would be missing 4th grade grades, then you can ask your current elementary to see if they have them. Okay. But we do need that information. That is, again, what I said in Spanish. And now it comes to the part for questions. And again, since we are not live, I know you're not able to ask me questions, but I will let you know about some things that parents have asked. One of them is about buses. Yes, you will have a bus if you need it. Our buses go all over the district. We do not have uniforms, but we expect our students to dress appropriately, of course. And that means no short shirts. No short skirts, no crop tops, no holes in their jeans, and no Crocs. They like to wear Crocs a lot, but for safety reasons, because they have stairs and stuff, we don't allow them to wear Crocs. But no uniform. Okay. Also, our start and stop time, we open our doors at 8:30. Class starts at 9:05, and our last class ends around 4:20. Okay. So that is our day. I can't think of any other questions that parents have asked that I have not answered already. But just so you know, once they get here, they cannot change communities. If they come under law, they're in law for all 3 years. If they play piano, they're playing piano for all 3 years. That 3-year commitment is for the school and the community and the instrument, okay? We want them to be experts by the time they get to 8th grade in that field, okay? But other than that, if you have any further questions, please contact your elementary school counselor. They may be able to answer it for you. If they're not, they know what to give you to get your questions answered. Okay. Again, thank you so much for taking time to view this presentation. Again, the deadline is January 6th, and I hope to see your student here at Robertson. Bye-bye.